Right.
Oh, here we go. So, hello and welcome to another episode of Blast Bites. Today I have Stewart Whitlie with me. Stewart is a well-kept face around the Scottish hill racing circuit. And having had a look at his profile on the hill running website, he's been rather prolific for the last at least 15 years. Doing, I don't know how many, of 100 and I can't remember how many races it was now in the last 15 years. And yes, very successfully as well. I'm chatting to some other people about you. I've heard that running wasn't your first sport, wasn't your first love, and I know that you were also rather successful in the cycling world. But I also had a wee chat with someone who told me that you were also a speed skater as well. So I bet you didn't think we were going to talk about that today.
No.
So thanks, Stuart, for agreeing to chat to me. And you're a fantastic hill runner, and but yes, with an interesting background as well. So I thought you'd be a great person to talk to.
Interesting what you've heard. I'll tell you. Yeah. Well, we can have a chat and see how much of it's true.
So, is it true, therefore, that you were so you've come to running later, as you know, a lot of runners start in their teens and it just continues on. But you went into cycling first of all, is that right?
Yes, yeah. I didn't take up running really until sort of late 30s, to be honest. I did quite a lot bit of racing on the bike for when I when I left school. I would sort of early 80s, I guess. So a long time ago now. So I did that for maybe 15 years, sort of racing on the bike. So that was like
was that
mainly
road stuff?
Yeah, road racing and a few time trials. Didn't really do any track stuff. So it was all and that so long ago. This was even before mountain bikes were around. So mountain bike. So a few people in my club sort of got into mountain biking when that sort of came along, probably late 80s or something like that. But yeah, it was all road racing. So, but it was quite time consuming. I think you probably had to put in about maybe 3 times the amount of effort, or in terms of time scales, in terms of for training wise. So I had like a full-time job, and it was like just I did enjoy the cycling, but I just decided it was taking a little bit too much time, and took up running. That's in the sort of in my late 30s. Yeah, did a bit of road running to start with. Tried a few 10Ks, I did a few marathons, and then which were okay, but I much preferred. Then I tried a couple of off-road runs and much preferred running off-road and in the hills. So then I just stuck to that for the last few years.
Okay, and so did you join? Because I know that you're Carnethy. Did you join that quite early on in your running career?
Yeah, and that's the only. To be honest, that's the only. When I did a couple of the first few runs, it wasn't. I was just as an attached runner. So Carnethy was the first running club that I joined. Went away a couple of. I think Seven Hills was probably one of the races. Seven Hills of Edinburgh was one of the early races that I did, and then got to meet a few people in Carnethy there, and they're quite a really friendly bunch. Went away in a few weekend trips in the hills up north with them, and then got really hooked into doing the off-road running. So stuck to that.
Very good. I don't know if you read these, but I've also got a Strava. Blast Running have a Strava run club, and every week I do a wee Sunday roundup of who's run the furthest that week, who's run the highest that week, who's run the furthest in one go, and you have consistently been in the top 3 for running the most altitude.
Elevation.
Yeah, absolutely. I do it in feet, so it's kind of you're averaging 10 to 12,000 feet a week. I mean, it's incredible how much you're. I mean, because I know that you live near the Pentlands, and they've obviously been your training ground during the last year. But with lockdown, or certainly with the being allowed to travel this weekend, have you got plans to get that elevation somewhere else?
Oh no, absolutely. Yeah, no, I love them. So I feel really grateful that I live beside the Pentlands, because I can run there, and it's like less than a mile from the house to Hill End. I guess just going back to your point about the running there all the time, I guess we've been quite lucky with the lockdown. I've been working from home since like March last year, so I can do most of my running like at lunchtime or in the early mornings and stuff like that. So yeah, just about all the running I do nowadays is in the Pentlands, whereas before lockdown it was maybe once during the week and then at the weekends. So I'm quite lucky that with the with the lockdown, the working from home, that I can get out into the Pentlands more regularly.
Yeah, and have you found new routes? Have you found new hills that you hadn't really discovered?
It's funny. Last year there was a few people in the sort of local club, well, Carnegie, HBT, Chris O'Brien, Kirstorfen runners. We'd started a little segment of the week competition. So that was really good, because it was like people were taking turns at picking different segments, and then people were picking some quite obscure hills or trods and stuff like that. So actually over the lockdown last summer, I was finding out lots of new paths and trods that I've never been on before in the Pentlands. So that was actually quite good to get you running in a different part of the Pentlands. But,
definitely.
So that helped a lot.
Yeah, and I've noticed from your Strava that you're also, you're quite snap happy as well. You take some really lovely shots up there. Is photography another hobby, or?
Well, to be honest, I'd always really liked being quite keen photographer. For a good few years. I've got quite a few like bigger SLR cameras, but I do enjoy, probably sort of less competitive now at my age, so I actually probably enjoy taking pictures when I'm out running more than I do racing these days. So yeah, no, I've always been interested in photography, so yeah, that's quite a bit of a passion as well. Just taking you can stop for a breather as well, and take a few nice pictures and stuff like that. So.
And do you enjoy going up as much as you going down, or do you enjoy going down more than you enjoy going up? What's your forte, or what's your joy?
Probably going up, to be honest. I mean, when I switched from cycling to running, it's quite an easy transition when you're going to running, off-road running, particularly uphill. It's the same sort of that sort of cycling rhythm going up the hill. So I've always been better at going uphill when I'm running off than downhill, to be honest. So I've always over the years tried to make up a bit of time on the climbs, and then not lose too much on the time.
Yeah, that's right. So I definitely lose it there. I believe it's just practice to get the downhill technique.
Yes, exactly. That's definitely the case. I think, when I started running off road, you're a bit more nervous about running fast downhill, but it's more it just comes with, I think, with confidence and do more downhill, or like races, and just going out with friends, and when you get a bit more comfortable running downhill. So
yeah, I prefer chasing someone or following their line. I'm not very good at finding a line myself, but I prefer to follow someone. But there's not many people.
Yes,
You don't follow many people. You're normally out front.
I follow a lot more people than I did maybe a few years ago these days. But yes, no, it's I'd probably having a good, there's quite a few good specialist descenders in the hill running community that, that helps to follow. Yeah. It's funny, I was telling Jill a story the other day about a race. Brian Marshall, who's a sort of very well-known hill runner who's been around for years, very good descender, and him and I got to the top of a race in Benmore together. So we just had the one descent back down to the finish. So I was sort of following him down, and I was thinking, maybe I'm not too bad at running downhill, because I was managing to keep up with him for a bit. But then I was obviously running completely out with them in my comfort zone. So I wiped out halfway down this hill and picked up a few bruises and managed to pick myself up and get to the finish.
And have you had many injuries over the years?
Oh, not really, to be honest. No. That one took me out for about 4 or 5 weeks.
Oh, no.
bruised a few ribs, and winded myself. So yeah, that's probably the worst one. But yeah, no, I don't think I've not really had too many injuries, to be honest. So it's quite good.
And so that was one race you talked about up at Ben More, but are there any other races that you're looking forward to doing again?
To be honest, I'm not actually that bothered about. I've not really missed the racing that much, to be honest. I'm enjoying going. I'm looking forward to going back out into the hills. I think that I'll enjoy the social aspect of hill running is one of the the main attractions for it. Actually, that they're a good bunch of people that do racing, so there's a lot of chat before and after the races. So I miss that element as much. Probably more so than the racing. But I managed to get out to a couple of big days in the hills last year in amongst the lockdown, and we're hoping to go up to Arrochar Alps this weekend.
Oh wow!
So that's a race that I've done quite a few times. But yeah, I think there's a few of us going to go over there on Saturday just after the lockdown.
Brilliant.
The travel restrictions are lifted.
Yes.
Get up for some bigger hills. The Pentlands are nice, but yeah, I'm looking forward to going somewhere else.
I know. So yes, you've saw all this training. It's not been it's been for mind as much as for body. You've not been training for anything in particular. It's just been.
Yeah, no, not really. No, I was hoping to. There was a race I've done the last couple of years called the Heb. It's a running and cycling event in the Outer Hebrides. It's a 2-day thing. So that was it was cancelled last year, and it was moved to May this year, and there was a possibility that was going to happen. But so I was trying to keep the fit training going for that, and starting to do a bit more cycling again. But that's now been moved to September this year.
Okay.
So I've got a bit of time, and I was going to be doing the Island Peaks race with Jill, actually, who you've interviewed a few weeks ago. So that was in May as well. So it was going to be a busy month, but they've both been canned now for the year.
So frustrating.
So yeah, I don't know what my first race is going to be, but I'm just, to be honest, I'm not that bothered about racing at the moment. I'm just quite enjoying getting out running, and it's a nice way, like you say, it's a nice, from a mental perspective, it is nice. It's a nice way to switch off from work, to get out at lunchtime or in the morning.
Yes. And you tend to meet up with someone else and try and make it social, or do you have a mixture of just doing it yourself?
It's probably a mixture. There was our last summer, I got into the habit of like myself and a couple of guys in the club, Mike Reid and Desi Flanagan, that used to meet them quite regularly on a Tuesday and Thursday morning before work at sort of 6:30. So that was quite good.
Oh, nice.
Got you out your bed if you were meeting other people. But so it's a mixture of running with other people, and I quite enjoy running on my own as well. It's quite nice being up in the hills, on your own, and there's nobody about and stuff like that. I quite enjoy that.
And if there are any kind of new runners thinking of wanting to start hill running or trail running, is there any piece of kit that you would suggest that they always have with them, or any I don't know if you just got any suggestions at all? Do you run with a pack, or do you run?
No, I tend to run with just a bum bag all the time with that, with my like a waterproof jacket, and my trusty camera, obviously, my phone, or my phone stroke camera. That's always good to have as a bit of emergency. I mean, for people who are looking to start out, I mean, the Pentlands are fantastic for a place to run, because there's like lots of you could do the Skyline, which is about 16 miles and 6,000 feet, but you could do there's so many like shorter loops and runs that you can do from if you want to do something shorter. So that's a great place to run for people to that are just getting new to the sport. You can run from Hill End or the car parks and stuff like that. It's quite easy to get to. But in terms of kit, I don't think I've got any special kit. That a gilet is actually one thing that I always that's probably the most useful kit, because especially when you get to springtime, it'll keep the wind off your chest, but you don't overheat. If you've been wearing proper waterproof. So my gilets, I've got quite a few gilets that I make use of quite regularly, so they're quite good kit.
Oh, good one. So just going back to I think actually going back to speed skating. I'd like to learn more about.
Well, I used to before, when I was at school, I used to go to Murrayfield ice rink, 2 or 3 times a week. So I was really into ice skating, and I used to enjoy going out and skate. Used to skate on the canals and out on, there's a bit of water at Camel Estate. You might near where you live. I've ice skated out there. Ice skated on Loch Leven. So years ago, when I don't think Loch Leven's frozen over for a long time, but I used to be just enjoy ice skating. Yeah, used to bunch of friends at school. We used to go regularly.
Oh, very good.
And then got into cycling when I left school.
I thought that's random.
Yes, certainly not. I think, probably more. There was like hockey boots that I used to have, so weren't sort of proper speed skating, but not. You could. I enjoyed skating outdoors and stuff like that, because I seem to remember things freezing over a lot when I was a bit younger.
I'm actually, you've reminded me. Actually, just in winter there, I did go to Camel with the boys, and it was that bit of it's a funny bit of water in Camel Estate. But it was frozen over. Yeah. Didn't see anyone on skates, but
we used to take I had hockey sticks and a puck and just play around on that. I remember doing that at Camel Estate a long time ago.
Oh, brilliant!
Quite good fun.
Oh, so you're an Edinburgh boy then? I didn't know that.
Yes, I've not. I had a brief couple of spells. I worked in Portsmouth for when I was at college, doing working in the HMS Victory in the IT department there. And then I had I think about a year and a half working in Aberdeen. That was more my cycling days. So that's a nice place for cycling, and then moved back to Edinburgh. So I've been in Edinburgh since for most of my life.
Yeah. And getting the bike out again for the Heb, which obviously is that the one that's going to be in September?
Yes, it does. Yeah.
So has it been nice going back on the bike again?
Yeah, to be honest, I really enjoy going out on the bike these days. I've got a sort of gravel bike now, when you can ride off road. So I don't really use my road bikes anymore. So the gravel bike, I can cycle on the road or just go through the Pentland Pass and stuff like that. So that's really enjoying that. And Heb takes you on, like a bit of road, off road on the beaches and stuff like that. So it's a beautiful area, to be honest. So I'm looking forward to doing that again.
Great. Well, I think thank you, Stuart. I think we'll round up there, but that's been really interesting. Thank you for taking the time to chat.
No problem at all. Good to speak to you.